need if you want
Well, I thought you were sending the paperwork for the lawyer.
No, I actually want to take that spot.
Well, you know what? Fine. You're
Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate it. You're the most thoughtful, wonderful man.
here. Joe, would you be able to add me to that chat?
Or follow along. You got a lot of demands today, you know, it's just the demanding nature of the keyboard.
All right. So, how's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
Yeah. Good to hear. Good week. Good Wednesday.
Very busy.
Yeah.
very busy.
You guys are in harmony.
Well, first week of the month, I'm always running around like a chicken with his head cut off. It's like, do I finish the copy edit from last month, or do I start sending a copy request, or do I start, working on the copy
Do
strategy?
you want me to help you with the goals? Usually, you want me to review the goals at the end of the month for the next month? Or they're manageable?
I should be okay because we got a couple of unexpected flights. I think we're pretty close to what we were last month in terms of raw numbers.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll talk to you guys. We're looking into taking the space next door. Like pretty much, we finally got all the details handled out. Now Kenny and I just had a meeting with them today about how we're going to paint it and stuff. But before I sign the lease, I'm going to make sure that we think this through. It's a really, really big commitment for us. Especially to fill it. Like when we took this space, we had 60% moving from another space.
Mm-hmm.
So this new space, we're like 90% full in this space, which means that space is going to be 0% full initially, and maybe like 5 or 10% slowly it'll start filling up. But it'll be kind of empty, and it's kind of an expense we have to carry, which is a challenge. So what I want to know is, and I've talked to a couple people, but if we take this kind of leap of faith to sign this, which I'm not 100% sure that we should do yet, I'm still debating, I want to see what you guys' feedback is, and also because we all kind of have to really double down, especially since I'm not going to be around as much over the next couple of months to participate in areas that I usually participate in. So it's going to take you guys being huge leaders to make this thing work if we decide to do it. It will help us with long-term growth. It's the best space we'd be able to get in Los Angeles at the best, most reasonable rate. If we end up having to get another space in LA, we have 2 offices in different locations, probably miles apart at a minimum, and we would not get as good of a price as we're getting in this space. But one of the concerns is we want to immediately be able to use it. Obviously, we're full in this space, but that doesn't mean that we could expand a little bit, and it still would be kind of empty. So I was wondering what you guys all think about this, and what you guys' thoughts are.
I'd phrase it this way: I could work on filling it for you.
Let's see what we can have more expenses.
I was going to say, what is our anticipated rate of growth? Over the next 6 months or the next year?
So the initial period is going to be largely up to how well Jordan and Igor are able to kind of sell and upsell and chase, and what our retention numbers are going to be, as well as Backer and Amon in terms of how many milestones that we're hitting, and how you guys are performing that way. That's going to be what determines it. And the one concern I have is usually when we need sales, I can get into sales and I sell really quickly. But I'm not going to be here for the next couple of months. I can participate in management and answer questions and do all sorts of stuff like that. But I'm not going to be able to do the phone calls and follow up because I'll be not here. So once I get back, I think I can start cranking on the sales again. But it's a good question. I mean, I think it's we in the past we've grown. Sometimes a few 100% in a year. Sometimes I think last year was 60 or 70% thereabout growth. maybe like 40% revenue or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably about
Yeah.
40% in revenue and about 60% maybe personnel-wise. I guess it depends
Yeah.
on what point. There's a lot of fluctuation over the year.
Yeah, definitely like that and that.
How long will it take us to? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mark.
How long will it take us to fill the office? Is it? I mean, it's pretty big. So how much longer how many people will we need to hire to fill that office?
Well,
The space is about 60% of the size of our current space. So depending on how fast we grow, we probably fill it within 1 to 2 years. That'd be my opinion.
I
So-
think
If we do it well.
And I think the rate at which we fill it would really depend on the rate at which our revenue grows. I mean, we've kind of just brought on a lot of folks hiring-wise, so our expenses are a lot higher than they've been in the past. So, you know, to expand personnel-wise, we would really want to see the revenue growth. Otherwise, it might not make much sense.
What about subleasing it? Someone else?
Yeah, we're looking at that, but there's also concerns there because we'd be giving somebody else keys and access to our office during hours when we're not here, you know. And also, like, there's a couple things in the lease, but it is a possibility to sublease it, but it is kind of a little bit weird if we have other companies in there, you know. But it is a possibility and something we're actually talking about right now to another company.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be kind of like a worst case scenario in some ways, where we would use the subleasing of the entire space as like a way to prevent us from just like spending a ton of money and not receiving any benefit. So we prefer to make this decision on our own growth projections and how we think we're going to do. And subleasing would just be like a security blanket in case. You know.
Do we feel pretty confident about the growth and that we will be able to build it?
Well, so far it's been a great year. Well, recently we've seen like some clients go on pause, some other clients like leave us. I mean, Lease Advisors is a massive client. They just kind of terminated with us. I know it's like My Girlfriend's going to go on pause for a while.
They are? Igor?
First time I'm hearing that.
Yeah,
Why? What do you mean first time?
I just talked to Jordan today about it.
Hey, Jordan, what's going on with My Girlfriend? Why is that not?
My Girlfriend's site was supposed to launch this month, but it's not. It's being pushed back till October, November. So they're pausing SEO.
Dude, they should never pause SEO. That's ridiculous. Because you need the work to be done on the previous site as well as a new one if you want to have any growth.
Yeah, we've had that conversation, but we don't have any access to make changes to the current site at all or post content. We have we basically have been billing them for 6 months and haven't been able to actually do the work because of the access limitations to their existing site.
We just did a very big, comprehensive special report for them, too. I'm kind of surprised by it.
Yeah, I mean, the relationship here is not the issue. They have a very strong relationship with Rebecca and with Coalition as a whole. I think they're pretty appreciative of that. The challenge is that the updates that we are proposing making from an SEO standpoint or want to make from a content standpoint can't be done on the current site. And they're essentially paying for 70+ hours per month of work that can't be done because of the existing site limitations. And the new site was supposed to launch this month.
You can always be doing off-site link building and things like that, Jordan. Why are we just talking about that?
We talked about off-site promotion type activities to them already and proposed that it's kind of reduced.
But this is a big problem that you can bring that up to Igor and I.
That just came in today, Joel.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are the kind of the concerns.
I didn't know about My Girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So, to summarize what I'm understanding, it seems like the decision kind of hinges on the revenue generation, our forecasting for that. So that's kind of the like an important factor right there. And if Joel's going to be out, then it sounds like we're going to be potentially kind of slowing down on revenue generation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, Joel hasn't done anything yet this year. It's just that Joel is always available, and that typically helps when we kind of increase lead flow to help with that. We just don't have that opportunity now.
So this is more, I guess, so what I'm understanding now is it's more to do with caution. Who knows, like, what client we're going to lose next kind of thing? Or?
Well, we shouldn't be losing any clients at all, period. But
It happens, so.
well, so we need to think about, like, I mean, we can do it, but obviously we're going to need a huge commitment from the team leads to actually take leadership and drive this forward over the next couple of months, especially. Like, it's all on you guys, as we talked about, you know. Either way, it's all on you guys. Like, even with the extra space, it's a big deal, but still. So this is, no matter what, we have to perform in the next couple of months. You know. Well, the problem, you can't hold off, and you know you lose the opportunity, and then you lose it for good. Somebody else will come in there.
There inside like a box.
Yeah.
Or just like
Have
a short-term problem.
But the big question is, we do need if we get if the team leads can you guys hear me, Jordan?
Yeah, it's coming back.
That door.
Oh, it should be that thing, right?
I don't know. That should be, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me turn off the video feed, maybe. Is that better now?
It's so far it's been spotty, but it's working okay now.
So I guess the big thing is what we talked about in our management retreat with our team leads. And I feel like if you guys can execute your areas, it's something that we should be more open to. But I mean, we can either be aggressive about growing, or we can be conservative and basically remove things that are costing us too much and not giving us enough productivity. But I feel like we have a great team right now, and in general, there's a few issues, but in general, we have a great team, and I'd like to be able to continue rolling down that path. And I feel like if the team leads really commit and take on kind of a level of initiative and authority and ownership and push that even further, and do what we talked about in the team lead meeting, I think that we can probably be aggressive about some things. So the question is are we going to be able to deliver on some of these things we talked about in the management retreat? So maybe we should run back through some of these items. So we talked about some of our strengths. We have a great culture here now. We have a full team pretty much. We've had strong revenues. And we've had awesome improvements by our team leads so far. The areas where we've improved is I'm not going to be here to sell directly, which means that we need people to like kind of take a lot more authority and initiative over the next couple of months. Our expenses are higher because we have a larger team. Like our expenses are uncomfortably high. We have lease advisors leaving, and now apparently my girl fund as well, which is actually a big concern. Jordan, you should immediately bring stuff like that up. Any client that leaves. And we need to get new sales revenue. We need to get our marketing client revenue retention from 88% to 95%. This is on Alex and Blummer and Chase, Chris, and Igor. This is something that you guys really have to drive. I think it's definitely a possibility for us. If we can get it up there, that actually accomplishes a large portion of the battle right there. Because if we can continue selling at our historical rates, but we're able to retain more clients, we all of a sudden grow a lot faster. So that'd be an important area. Back here at Le Mans, we really need you guys to be pushing to complete these milestones. I'm talking to you guys about that a little bit. And so we talked about some of these goals here. With new sales revenue, Jordan was going to work on reducing the timelines to help increase the close rate. And we were looking to possibly hire more DS or junior DS team members. Amon has his whole new team. He's got 5 new team members to train up and get onboarded and excited about what he's doing. Backer has a new team member, and Farhan, we want to make sure that accomplishes things. Igor is bringing up all these new producers we have to speed and getting their competencies honed and teaching them what to do. And avoiding stale strategies on campaigns, which comes down to all of you marketing team leads. We need to come up with new ideas, kind of like what we did with when something new comes with Igor.
Yeah, on that specific point, I actually really, prior to this very meeting, I met with Paula to discuss avoiding the stale campaigns. I think that what we're going to roll out is a mandatory quarterly review that's going to be initiated by the DPs, and we still have to hash out the details, but essentially something that can be brought to the client that's after the 6-month mark, where we have work queued up, we have a plan for them, and it's a consistent plan that we can reinforce and kind of continue to feed them, because right now we don't have that, and I feel like that oftentimes legacy clients, when the things become stale and quiet, that's where we start to run into some issues. So I want to make sure that we're kind of continually bringing new ideas to the table.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We need to be doing that. And that comes Chris, Alex, Chase, that's all you guys working together. New ideas, fresh ideas for these campaigns. These will get each client excited and keep them excited. That's going to be a big deal. Alex is going to need to work on training his team and improving his oversight and operations over his team members, including delegation and quality assurance and reviews, that sort of thing. And we talked about we could possibly have Amon help out on the development or SEO development items. Kenny with the we could possibly do competitive research for our clients. We need to do it for ourselves as well. I think one of the people that we hired, Stella, and who's the other one who's looking at that? She was going to help with some of the competitive research. Jordan, is Maria doing competitive research?
Yeah, Maria and a few others. So Maria, Stella, Zarina.
When are you going to send that through?
What was that?
Send that to me right now, please. I want to take a look at all of it. Are they doing it every day?
Yeah, I mean they're doing it across all services. So they've got a ton of information in there in those folders I shared with you.
Okay, send it to me. I'll review all that. That's helpful as well. Looking at our competitors, what they're doing, what their work looks like. We can share that with you guys as well. That way you can kind of research and review and get ideas. Because actually that's a hugely powerful way to spot what ways we can improve. Chris had mentioned your goals. Doing the copy outlines and framework. You started pushing forward on that?
I have for the June copy.
Oh, nice.
So I'm working on some outlines right now for the clients we're doing blog content for.
Nice. The viral content ideas and kind of working with the VPs a little bit more to reach out to the clients. So you've just been able to start with that part too. I like that ideas.
Yeah, I mean, working with the designers, and once I actually start getting some of the content in, then I'm going to start sharing it with them. And as far as the DPs, I haven't spoken to any of them. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to get a basic framework for what I'm going to send out in the month of June.
Okay, nice. And Chase, obviously you're making some improvements here to the kickoff call. What have you been able to do? Have you got anything doing that?
So far, I've just been focusing on one thing we're trying to focus on is the first bi-monthly reports that go out. So really strengthening those and making them super in-depth. That way, we get off on the right foot. So like MilSpec Direct today, I wrote one for them, and the write-up is like a whole page long, and just pointing out some of the first things that we noticed. So I think that's kind of the beginning of the strategy moving forward. It's really strengthening the relationship at the beginning.
Let's do that. Let's continue to expand on the kickoff meeting we're going to talk about as well. I think that's going to be important.
Yeah.
Monner, how's your team doing right now?
Well, not too bad, I guess. I kind of already raised the issues about Prashant and his, skills, as well as John's lack of attention to details. So, and I already sent Luke and you an email about, hiring people that are more skilled and giving them, more difficult or better skills test. To be able to kind of gauge how well they know PPC. So I'm hoping that will kind of bear some fruit in the coming months once we do decide to hire some more people, or get rid of some that are not working out. As far as clients-wise, so far so good. No immediate clients that are in danger, I think. So, but yeah, again, Ashok is the only one that actually curious about his work.
Okay. How about you, Kenny? How about your master list of all the reports?
Papa discussed that yesterday with Brian and Katie. We started to conceptualize what that master list would look like as far as bringing in like each responsible party would have like a section, and then there'd be like maybe months associated with when the report becomes available, stuff like that. It's not ready yet. We still have to hammer out what it's going to look like, but we're talking through it.
Okay.
Brian's going to probably be the one putting most of it together. He's out till next Monday, essentially. So.
Okay. How about you, Alex? How's your team doing? Are we getting them scored away yet?
Yeah, I would say they are doing quite well. I don't see any issues with any one of them at the moment. Yeah, everyone is doing the best they can, and they are receiving the necessary training. So yeah.
Glad to hear that. Amon, how about your new team members? How is onboarding them?
Well, yeah, I think they are doing a great job. For example, they definitely want to do development work more, and they definitely want to do more and more development work because for example, Nicola was quite did handle the district website, so. I think he's very much expert in handling all the system administration tasks. So, and also he's quite expert with the JavaScript. And Dimitri is handling a Magento. Is helping a Magento. Is helping a backend team with the Magento task on American Dawn, as well as he's working on the Education Next. And Christian is working on a full WordPress project. So yeah, they are doing a great job so far. Christian is actually a bit slower. What I found him, but yeah, I think he's a new team member, so he's adopting the new processes. But yes, Nicola and Dimitri are quite quick. They were were quick learner. Christian was a bit slower, but definitely I cannot really give my final judgment at this moment because he's still working. He's just working on the first project. So I would like to wait for 30th July as we had decided. So yeah. But so far, they're doing a great job.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that update. How about you, Igor, with your onboarding and training of digital producers?
I think it's going well. They're capable guys. At this point, it's just a matter of getting their feet wet. Giving them actual projects. So they should be, as of next week. Haley's client, who is actually going to be transferred completely to them, but they're going to be the ones driving. So for the remainder of Haley's time, from Monday on, they'll be the ones driving it, and hopefully we'll use those 4 days that we're going to have to kind of align them and take over the communications with the clients. I think that Haley has already actually done meetings with all of them to go over the transitional documents. So yeah, well, once they get in there, part of my plan is, as I discussed with you, is to move them next to current digital producers. Chase is going to sit down with Paula because she's more familiar with web dev work, which is he's kind of handling also. And Omid is going to go. He's going to sit next to Kelsey, and I think they'll greatly benefit by being next to those individuals. I think it will actually benefit the existing VPs too, to have to run through our processes and like think about them. Nothing trains you better than training another person. It makes you think about things from a different perspective. Yeah, and I mean, you know, like I said, we'll plan to. I have my, you know, I'm personally involved in quite a few of those projects that are being transferred, try to mitigate, you know, any kind of a fallout. And I think that actually that's going really well where I am, where I'm involved. I think that those relations have really improved. Yeah, so going forward, we'll just keep an eye on them, and hopefully we can teach them, you know, everything they need to know as quickly as possible.
Cool. Backer, how about Farhan? How's he doing?
I think he's doing fine, but just like hours ago, Jordan notified me about a task that he had spent a lot of time on it. It's like over 8 hours on doing something that should have done basically 1 hour or something. So the guy was trying to do it like the best as he can. He revisited the task like on 2 days and keep improving it. I'm not sure how he count, you know, the concept of hours. So just talk to him. Like we bill our clients based on the hours we spend. You should be, you know, doing stuff as quick as possible. You don't have to be perfectionist, but you have to do it correctly with high quality and stuff. So you got it now, but for his understanding, it was, you know, like we have the whole time in the world to do stuff just correctly. So that was weird to me. But he's doing fine when working on stuff. I guess let's learn a lot about Magento and that kind of stuff we're doing. But he's a good developer, have good attention, and learning, you know, the stuff that we talk about and try to ask sometimes. So he's doing fine. I can't tell, you know, like I'm so impressed or so not impressed or whatever. But he's doing fine, I guess, so far. He was helped with a lot of SEO tasks. That was a good start. Yeah, that's pretty much it about for him.
All right, thank you for that update. What are you guys' thoughts on all this stuff? What we can be doing over the next couple of months? Does anybody have anything they want to add? Luke, I don't know if you got to read the notes and if you got anything you wanted to add.
Actually, I don't think I got an email with these notes from the
management visit. Jordan, you want to email the notes to Luke for our management retreat?
Sure.
But my thoughts, though, I know you and I talked about getting a person for a recording and a copy. Are there any other teams that have any other need or anything like that, or anything else that we can focus on?
I think we primarily need to focus on training and operational oversight at this point. We seem to be pretty good across the board in terms of staffing. We get a copy assistant and a reporting assistant, but I think that beyond that, we should be pretty good. We might need some replacements, obviously.
Yeah, I think just continue to raise the bar on the people we bring in and identify people that aren't
performing.
Yeah, performing.
Yeah, I think that was the whole point, right? That was the whole point of overstaffing, so that we could, you know, supplant, you know, or replace the people who are underperforming with the people who are really good.
And I think this is actually probably a point that we should be aware of, and you guys should be thinking about. Not only is part of like taking the initiative and that extra ownership, especially in this period, is like obviously think like you run the business, you're in charge, that you're responsible for keeping things running and afloat, and look for the people who aren't performing, try and coach them and push them to perform, and kind of like look outside of even your area. You know, like if you see that there's somebody who's performing exceptionally well, make sure the other team leads know that person is doing an exceptional job, and so everybody kind of deserves it. Sometimes Alex may not know that one of his technicians has been doing a ton of extra work and like for 3 or 4 clients, and his clients are doing really well. Maybe Igor doesn't hear on a phone call that one of the people chase or somebody's performing exceptionally well. So we want to make sure that we observe those things, and by the same token, we observe when somebody's not a performer, you know. So.
I want to bring you, just build something on in terms of the space. You know, quite a few of our space desks or whatnot, the computers are used by interns. So I mean, I think that we could actually make room there for, you know, if we really need room there, it's not, you know, it's not like a do or die right now to expand. So
what would we do with the interns?
We can situate them into the like for example, there's some producers right now. They can fit 3 people, but there's only 2 people in the room. There's places where we can place them. I feel like I don't think it's like, I don't think that it would be nice to have more space, but again, it's like, given the current circumstances, I think this is something to keep in mind as well. I mean, I want to open all of the solutions up, make sure we're aware of all the possibilities.
Is there room to set up desks in the middle, a section of like our space over there?
No, really.
You don't think so?
I don't think that's
Good.
Yeah.
With all the wire, especially for the
It would be too tight. We wouldn't be able to fit people. I think that we're running out of space a little bit here. The other big concept I've had is that we could expand with more remote team members.
Yeah.
Like Oliver and Vic, or people even in other states, other countries, like we have been doing. That works somewhat for some positions. I mean, obviously, it works in
like LA people can be on like some type of cyclical schedule where there's almost like a desk that stays there and there's a rotation. So we know that Luke comes in for whatever on Monday, Tuesday, and Vaughn is there Wednesday through Friday or something. So like there's 2 desks only take up 1 space. Just an idea.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Person you don't want to identify the positions that would probably benefit the most and need the least amount of interaction with the team. But
yeah, the concern there is that when people are remote, we lose that 30% productivity. I feel like from lack of communications. Communication is so important. So that can create some difficulties. But I've had some ideas that maybe the more production team members directly interact with clients, I feel like that starts to escape from some of those issues. Like whenever we've had a production team member, like Backer on the phone with the client, or Mon on the phone with the client, or Alex trying to deal with clients directly, it actually seems to make things a little bit more efficient.
yeah. I mean, along the same token, I think Jordan's done a great job remotely, as is the other team leads remotely. I don't think we've lost productivity necessarily with those folks. I think they.
Well, I think that they do a lot and they do very well. But still, there'd be certain things easier. Like obviously, Igor could walk up to Backer and say, "Hey, Backer, you need to fix this, move this item here, and point on the screen." Right. It's helpful, and we lose a little bit of productivity and stuff that way from the ease of communications.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's an issue, but you're right. I mean, it works very well for some people. We seem to have a higher initial churn on overseas people. Like people start and then 2 weeks later they leave. Although people who stay longer than like 3 months tend to stay for the long term. So.
It's not necessarily productivity. I think it's efficiency. That's what we're probably working for. It's a lot more difficult to communicate at a certain point over remotely rather than like when we're talking to the face-to-face in front of the same screen.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, we kind of help fill in the gaps here. I'll talk a little bit about the way things look. So we're currently, with the amount of staffing we have, we're at around $200,000 a month in expenses each month, from our staffing, from all of our insurance costs, and space, all that sort of stuff. The new space will be another $10,000, which is about 5%. So it's a 5% jump, but we don't necessarily, like from that much money spending on team members, we actually get a lot more from that. We get 3 or 4 good team members, 5, 6 good team members, for that much money. Although we don't necessarily need them right now. We don't need the space, but this is kind of our opportunity to get this space, and it probably won't be there for us when we really need it, if we really wanted it. And kind of a couple of months ago, we were really wanting it in terms of running out of space in this space. But if we didn't take it, we would need to really continue our remote growth more. Basically, we'd be dramatically increasing the percentage of people that work for us remotely.
Sorry, a small idea.
Yeah.
If we do get that space, that would allow us to get more interns, and that would give us a good opportunity to test out some people.
And actually, some of our interns do pretty well. We can expand on them, and like we've had certain people who've performed quite well as interns and been very productive. Daniel, which I haven't seen Daniel in a while.
I've seen it. That's what happens with interns. There's no obligation.
Yeah, it's no obligations. Yeah, but we've had some people who have been quite productive and gotten work for us done. If we expand that space, we could populate it largely with interns. So it could actually be very powerful to extent.
Keep costs down and increase productivity because people would actually use them.
I think right now the production team is actually pretty well staffed. I mean, some of the quality could be better, but like in terms of just bodies, I mean, it's as good as it's ever been.
And bouncing off Igor's point, like how many more interns would we actually need? Because at some point there's got to be people to manage them.
Sure.
Right now we have 3.
Well, we've never had success with remote managed interns. Like we had one managing me. We had Alex managing Daniel and Vache for a while, and they both seemed to do pretty well. Alex, what did you think about remotely managing Daniel and Vache? Yeah. Alex.
Was he managing budget?
What's that?
I don't think he was managing budget.
Vache was reporting and SEO.
Yeah, he went straight from me.
Like Justin was.
He did some stuff with. Yeah, that's true. Justin worked with me.
Well, me though was. I mean, so Violet, Alex manages Violet this year like pretty often right now, and manages Daniel.
And what about Vincent?
Vincent is like a remote.
He's PPC. He's doing
Not sure about so.
Yeah. Walmer, how about you with Omid? What did you think about the remote intern there?
It was okay. I didn't find any issues about communicating because my entire team is remote, so him being in the Yale office really didn't matter to what we did and how we communicated. I think he chose to always come in, and I'm pretty sure that helped him get hired full time because he was in there and was able to be seen. So Vincent, on the other hand, because I guess he has a longer drive, he's choosing to work from home. But to us, to John and Shook and the team, it really didn't matter where they were coming from or where they were staying. We had no issues. It was business as usual.
Backer, I just saw your comments. You can feel free to speak up, Backer, if you have something to contribute. But I saw your comments that aren't most of our production team members remote. Who's going to be sitting in the new offices? Just copywriters and VPs. And that's a good point. Like we have been pretty functional with our remote team members to a large part. I guess this would be expanding our commitment to it. Yeah, it might impact. I think that we do a better job of training people when those people are in-house. Maybe we can start improving our remote training processes as well. The other thing that's sometimes difficult is client calls. And clients want like a team that's in an office together. Like Leah Sophia asked me yesterday, like, are all your team members remote? And I said, no, like most of them are here in the LA office. And we can take it on. But like I've directly been asked about that, and I know it can impact sales. Now, when we bring people into our office to sell them, we sell it twice the conversion rate. So Jordan would probably sell twice as well as he does now if he was in our office, in my opinion.
That's our solution. Jordan was down here.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be fixed. Jordan, we're going to move you down here. You just sold your house, actually. It's perfect.
Or you guys can move up here.
We'll move up there.
We have water and clean air.
We have water too. It's all a bunch of.
We'll just buy it. Don't worry about it.
Mostly brown.
Yeah. So this is a big question, but really, I think the core to this, as I said, like it's about 5% of our current expenses. So it's not a do or die thing if we take it on a debt. What is a do or die thing is that the overall productivity of the company and the retention rates and new sales and hitting the milestones actually happens at a higher rate, especially over the next couple of months. Like we really have to improve in each one of those areas and have you guys kind of really continue to expand these things and work across teams. You know, like the more people we have help Jordan in sales, the more sales we're going to get. The more we have people working, we have Kenny helping Igor and Chase and Alex with reporting and reviewing work and making sure stuff's getting done for clients in terms of retention rate. That helps. You know, like anything we can do, come together and make sure we're achieving the goals as a whole company. That's what we really need to see over the next couple of months, especially. Like if everybody just kind of sits in their little silo and says, I'm just going to do my little bit, I'm just going to pay attention to this, then we're going to fail. You know, we need to come together as a team and really, really work hard at this to take to the next level. So, I mean, the office space is kind of a immediate question. As I said, it's only 5% of our expenses. It'd be a 5% increase, which isn't, you know.
I would throw it out there to the team leads to, you know, not, and maybe we can help brainstorm this year, but how do we extend it, you know, how do we explain and communicate the urgency for everybody to pick it up? Because the leads will, you know, if all of a sudden my team members are like, you know, like I'm all of a sudden on them, right, on their high knees, you know, I'm like, hey, come on, do better, or, you know, got to improve here, here, and here, with no reasoning behind it, then they're just going to get jittery, right? So how do we, what's the best way to explain it and kind of communicate it and pass it on down so that they have the same sense of urgency as us? Because it's, you know, stressing us out and, you know, having kind of a, you know, that's inefficient, right? Because we're just a chunk of the team, right? We're a strong chunk, but ultimately it's like, you know, if nobody else is feeling the same level of responsibility, it almost doesn't work, right? Because everybody else is responsible for a much larger chunk of work than we personally are.
Yeah, I'll get unmuted. All right, so my suggestion there, I think, Igor, is to present it as a positive, and that's kind of what I've been doing with the sales team, is really kind of looking at this as an opportunity to move to the next level. And so we have more ambitious goals, and I'm pushing people to achieve them, but I'm doing it as a goal-setting exercise and not a shortcoming pointing out of, you know. I'm basically telling them, you know, that coming out of, you know, the management retreat, and then also just for our team particularly, we have some specific objectives we need to be achieving this month and then the month after. And so it's not really about urgency. Well, there is an urgency to it, but it's not as much about, you know, a negative as it is a positive. Hey, we can do this. This is where we can go. We need to do this. You know, this is on us. And it's more of a, you know, a positive opportunity, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Jordan, that's a really good point. Like, we do have the career development goals and KPI goals for a reason. We can push on those things either with people. I think as we continue to expand on this, and we have a great culture, and as we continue to show people that we're high producers, we're excited about doing this, and do whatever it takes to get these goals for our clients, I think that helps us as well. I think that if we continue pushing on this and let people know that when they do well, like, people are going to notice, people are going to give them bravos, you know, like it might even be people on other teams. Like Kenny might see that Natasha has done a really good job of pushing through more web development revenue or task items, or maybe Amon sees that one of the SEO technicians has done a great job of sending through requests. They're very specific on how it needs to be done. Or maybe Chase, especially Chase and Bridget, see that certain clients are getting better SEO results, and they can point that out to the whole team. The more we share those wins and we talk about those wins and we get people discussing it, the better, you know. The more that we talk about that, and also that when people are noticed when they don't do as well. And we want to make sure that people get a lot more positive feedback generally than negative. If somebody truly deserves more negative than positive, then that's a person we don't want on our team. We should identify them quickly. But generally, people should get more positive, and they should probably be like 7 or 8 or 9 times using the positive attaboys for each one negative. And team leads should be doing this many times a day, like throughout every single day. Like you guys run across other people's work, and Chris sees digital producers who are pushing copy to clients, getting it done. Those people deserve attaboys. You know, if somebody's taking too long, then we need to really like say like, hey, this person's having problems. Aman, same way. Like if Aman sees that one of his team members did exceptionally well, Aman's done a great job pointing out his team's wins and how they're performing. Actually, Igor also sees a lot of what the production team does and can like give the attaboys out to the production team. You know, like wherever we see that, we want to encourage people and we want to push for that behavior. I think that's kind of what we're looking for from the team. Because obviously, like team members don't necessarily understand the bigger picture yet. They're still learning the company. They're learning their role. One of the things that sets apart a team lead is you guys know your role, and now you're learning the company. And the more you learn about the company, that then takes you into managers who know the company, know the positions, know those things, and can handle it at a high level. So that's kind of the layout, and that's what we're looking for, I think. Does that make sense? Remote team, what do you guys think? Backer, Aman, Alex? Bomber, what do you think? Bomber, are you there?
I'm breaking up. Actually, my computer's freezing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you the video. You can watch the video afterwards and relive the experience by definition.
Did you hear what you need from us in terms of being able to make a decision on the space next door?
Well, I'm still thinking about it. I guess one of the things that we should think about is, I mean, does anybody have any strong opinions or feedback they want to share? I know not everybody has all the information I do necessarily, but do they have any strong opinions or feedback or beliefs? Or
My belief is that be prepared for the worst but expect the best. So no matter what route we go, I guess there should be a plan B or an out, right? So for example, like if subleasing is an option, then we should be prepared to do that here, right? So for example, if we hang on to it and we see that, hey, like maybe our projections, we're not living up to our projections and we can't hang on to it, or maybe we do have to lease it out and then just kind of sit out the next 12 months, right? And then reevaluate later. So I think as long as we have a backup plan for whichever way we go, it's fine, right?
It's likely that even with a sublease now, there'd be several months with it vacant. We may not be able to lease it at full market value. We may have issues with the landlord, and then we won't be able to use the space when we want it. So if we commit to it, we're committed. You know, I mean, we can. There's some like pressure release valves a little bit, but it'll still be very expensive. And not only that, but as I mentioned too, it's more in general for the entire team. Like 5% doesn't make or break a company. It's actually a substantial chunk. It's a substantial chunk, no doubt, but it doesn't make or break anything. We need to be thinking like about, and I think that you guys can perform and do this, and especially like if we can get some sales in to help make up for some of these that are going on pause. If we can get Backer and Amon to push through more development work over the next couple of months, that helps carry it. And I think that when I get back, depending on, I mean, if the entire U.S. market goes into a recession, then it'll be hard to sell no matter what, right? I mean, that's just the risk we have to take, the general market risk. But if we assume that it kind of continues at a decent rate, when I get back, I'll be able to sell quite a bit as well, if it's a necessary thing. But I want to make sure that your team leads are really ready, you guys feel equipped and ready and motivated to take the ownership necessary to basically run the company with Jordan and Kenny. And I'll be managing and doing things for a couple of hours a day, but I'm not going to be able to step in and like like when things get slow, I usually will step in and sell, and 4 or 5 days later we have a whole bunch of big new deals. I can't do that now. Like, are you guys ready to kind of step up to the challenge at this point? Do you feel?
I mean, my thoughts on the matter: if we were struggling for space months ago, and our goals are to grow, let's do it. I mean, put our money where the mouth is, and let's try and grow. Let's try and hit the goals we're aiming for. So.
Yeah. Good point. Does everybody agree with Luke?
I don't. I kind of feel like this space is big enough that we can cram people in here if we need to. I don't know. I just feel like there's.
Yeah, it depends on your look. It depends on our long-term outlook. If we want to strive for something, if we want to strive for growth, then we should do it, and then we should simply realign our, kind of expectations, our management styles, and whatever, just to make sure that we meet that, right? To make sure that we do continue growing into those big shoes, right? I mean, it's almost like we have to, and that's it, right? Like, that's the goal, and how do we get there, right? So we deal with it then, right? So, like, I understand that I actually typically will err on the more conservative side, so I would typically be with Chase, actually. But again, if the company wants to grow, and if that's where we're going, I would look at data, I would look at what the next 2 months present, right? Like, are they typically down months? Do we experience more loss typically? Do we experience more slowdowns in sales, or do our margins stay the same? So can we kind of reliably assume that we'll be okay, right, on the sales front and on the retention front?
It does vary quite a bit, but I can't talk about those things. June and July are typically a little bit slower in terms of sales. And actually, seems July and August we have higher turnover with employees and also with clients. And I think we've had a little bit higher sometimes in those months, but it's usually the worst in terms of retention, I think, towards the end of the year as people are closing out the year. But I mean, it is kind of, it's not like huge seasonality. It's not a ton of seasonality. It's like
we really just did a nice big push at the beginning of the year every year, and then the rest we just kind of seen steady growth.
Yeah.
So the downward trend has not been as great as we've always been growing.
Yeah. And I guess one of the things that I'll be thinking about here as well is kind of the overall growth strategy of the company, because we are going to grow. That's where we're going no matter what. The question is a little bit of how to get there, whether we want to start being more extreme in how remote we are.
I feel like the part of this conversation is going to be what your plans are, particularly too, because if you plan, I mean, there's been talk in the past of a new office somewhere in a more tax-friendly place.
Yeah.
That might change, and obviously if we're just going to grab this space, then that might have to go on the back burner until at least we fill this out. It wouldn't probably make sense.
Yeah, we need a new office and we have an empty space here.
Yeah, so you gotta really, that's something you need to consider.
Yeah, so I'll be considering that stuff. I guess the big thing we need to do is we're going to be growing. That is where we're targeting. That's what we're going to be doing. And I guess we can take aggressive moves for it. The question is, what's the smartest move? Maybe it's a smarter move for us to expand remotely or open an office in Austin. If we expand in LA, we will not have a better opportunity than the space next door. We simply will. So this is the best chance if we're going to grow the LA office and have more people in this office. This space is our very best chance to do so. If in a year or two we decide to do it and didn't do it right now, it's very likely we'd have an office like 3 miles that way, something like that, where people aren't working together. And that doesn't work and make as much sense either, necessarily. So,
Right.
Yeah. Amon, for client retention these months, we can try different strategies, sending regular reports, extra dev work, create new banners for the website. Yeah, that's actually a great point too. Here's the other thing. We actually have huge teams now. There's never been a time before, I think, in Jordan or Kenny's memory of us running this company where we've actually been able to say that pretty much we're staffed across the board. We have a couple of areas where we'd like to add a couple people, but generally, even when we were far smaller, we needed like 5, 10 people at a time. And right now we're kind of at a nice spot. We have all these new team members, but the key is going to be to get them trained, to get them super productive, and to use them and get them to be as excited and work in other areas as well. So like the design team slows down. I know Ezekiel and Andres and new guys there, they have space. They can work with the SEO team. I know Marcel has a lot of availability to help in other areas as well. I know that in terms of Amon's new team members, they're going to clear off their tasks pretty quickly, and then we're going to have a bunch of developers who might be able to help Backer with some of the back-end tasks maybe, or more likely to help out with some of the SEO tasks, especially SEO dev items. I mean, the DPs like have the lightest loads per DP that we've ever had. So DPs can expand out and think of more strategies for their clients. We can start expanding some of this stuff. We can get a lot more creative and be pushing things forward that we have always wanted to do, but we haven't been able to do as much. So I think this is a good time for you guys to really look at the resources we have and to think about it at a high level and drive the whole company ahead, you know? Like, look across the board. Don't just look at your team, look at other teams. Be like, Chris, you could think, how can I use designers? You want us to assign you a designer? We can assign you a designer to work with. We could even have like a front-end developer who's assigned specifically to the SEO team, carrying out changes for the SEO work, Alex. And Alex, are you still there? Send Alex a message. I think
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. Alex, we can have a front-end developer assigned to your team, for example. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do you guys can work together on. This is why I need you guys to be sending out messages. Hey, I got team members available. We have capacity. We're happy to help out with SEO. We're happy to help out with design. On the copy side, maybe you guys can help out with social media, maybe pull in other people to help you. You know, we're going to have to communicate. This has to take a lot of ownership. And I think that's what's going to keep the growth going over the next couple of months.
Are we going to be utilizing the, so if there's bandwidth, I mean, for internal kind of promotion purposes, right? For Coalition to get, you know, for example, if we have development, you know, bandwidth, build out tools that will help us kind of get our name out there. I don't know.
Yeah, we should do that. I mean, we have some back burner items that will help Coalition, but we should be kind of driving on Coalition all the time to an extent, you know. But we should expand on it a lot. Like if we have capacity, if somebody who's available, we have a good task that'll help grow Coalition, we should definitely do that, especially pushing forward our SEO rankings and actually getting some engagement on social media, which we haven't really gotten any engagement back, unfortunately, yet. So
I really like the idea of finding the clients that really are some of our most informed clients and giving them like a white glove treatment type of thing, where they we have like folks that are big, like the Leah Sophia, or like unfortunately my girl fund, like just taking a pause right now, but like giving them special treatment with some of this extra capacity work to show their value. I think would be something to really enhance their relationship, because when those people leave, it really hurts.
Yeah.
So the retention is extremely important, specifically for the higher value clients.
Yeah, and I think this is important for so for example, like Aman is saying, like if we have any kind of front-end development bandwidth, I would recommend go to the SEO checklist. Look at our clients are literally ranked in order of importance, right? So like it goes by hours that they paid for. So go from top to bottom. Like look at the top 10 and say, hey Alex, what can we do for you for these 10, for these 10 clients? Do you have stuff for us that we can help you out with, right? And at that point, Alex knows like, okay, I got a front-end developer that can help me out with this in the next week, right? Like maybe I can push this out, right? And then get the producers ready. I mean, again, it's like, just be proactive about it, reach out to each other, and kind of, communicate. That's the important part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the right direction. And this will be actually, we'll probably be doing team lead meetings remotely, but this will be my last one right here, and I'll probably actually delegate to the other team members to let you guys lead team lead meetings. And actually, maybe we should plan that right now, just so that we have the plan for coming up. But actually, I actually with company meetings, I'm actually curious as well. I'd like to give team leads the opportunity to kind of step up and try and take more ownership and authority. Is there anybody who'd like to volunteer remotely or here in LA to run a team lead meeting? And kind of encourage a discussion, pick some topics, and
I'd be happy to do it if I had stuff to talk about, because I'm less connected to the actual production work, so I'm not as in touch with what's going on.
But you just give that person some lead time.
yeah,
You know?
maybe some lead time to come up with somebody.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily do what I do, where I sometimes dominate a little bit. It's going to be more of a group brainstorming and discussion. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Luke, you're responsible to talk for half an hour.
Yeah. I nominate Luke for the company meeting because he's the most neutral team lead we have.
That's right.
No, I'm not joking because he has no.
I'd be happy to do it. Just give me stuff to talk about.
You already have, right? So you get the like.
You talk about it.
Like no.
Luke, would you want to do that? Do that to a company meeting?
Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Backer, Amon, Alex, Mama, Jordan.
I can do a meeting. I have no problem doing a meeting.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But in both types of meetings or one type of meeting?
I prefer. I mean, I can do the team lead meetings or the company meetings, depending on what you want.
It is. Both meeting types?
Yeah, whatever.
And by the way, I'll probably be canceling some of the company meetings. But generally, I like to only do those if we have value add beyond the status update. So, like we have a training item that applies to everybody. That's when I try and do those. Or if I have a big status update, you'll notice that on the company meeting, we do the updates, but I always have like this patch first where I have a training session. Otherwise, I cancel it. So that'd be my approach to the company meeting. Is if we don't have a training item, then we don't need to do something.
Like, I can try a team lead meeting. I think a company meeting would be overwhelming for me.
How about remotely, Jordan? How about you?
Yeah, I could do it. Both.
Jordan. Backer, Alex, Amon. Walmer? Any thoughts? Are we allowed to redesign or develop my site? Amon, you really don't like my site. I like the beach theme that you should have.
For the blog, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's like almost like a Miami Vice in LA something.
Yeah. It was cartoony in LA. The new one is kind of big circles. I think we had that done by our designer that we got rid of. Backer. Yeah, Backer, you would need to show on time. We have Mon, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, let me actually kind of lay this out so we have a rough road map. And when in doubt about topics, talk about the core metrics. Those are perennially good topics to talk about. How to improve client retention. I mean, those are the things that drive the company, right? Like, I mean, but like we don't need to come up with something really esoteric like what's the best wall art that we can put up. You know, that doesn't help the company. I mean, it looks nice, but ultimately we're driven by other things. So we'll say Luke 6:10 next week, Luke. Chase, we can do 6:17. Kenny, you get 6:23. Jordan, 6:30. And I may pop in and help run some of these, or I may just actually watch the feed that way. And if you guys use the, if you guys know how to use the live events on YouTube, that's how you actually record these sessions. You go to YouTube and you set up your account to add live events. Does anybody have that already set up here? Do you have live events?
I've done it. I just don't remember if it was on my account or not.
If you have it on your account, then you would just have it be logged in each time and set it up. That way people have that.
There's some homework for you team leads. Figure it out. Get her to take a look at it.
Okay. Chris, you had mentioned you want to try it? Sure, Chris. 7-8. Apparently you're 7-8 for some reason, whereas everybody else actually gets it at 8.
That's fine. I guess 8th is a common fraction.
Circle back around, and we'll have Jordan do another one, 713. And Igor gets one. Actually, Igor, you're not even on here.
No, don't worry about me. I got enough.
I got you taken care of, Igor. You got the 721. We'll kind of do this in a tentative schedule. We may alter as we go, but when we can do this, you guys should kind of prepare some ideas and things, and the ideas may change or become outdated to new ones, but you kind of see the list. Company meetings, you guys want to volunteer for these? Like come up with a training item that's applicable to the whole company, run it by me. And if it's, and I'd like to have you guys come up with some training ideas for the company meetings. And if you have something that takes about 10 or 15 minutes to run through, let's talk about it. You know, it's applicable to the whole company. If there's something specific that would help. So email me about those, and we'll get those going. All right. And the company meeting, what we would still do like kind of a status update. The status update will go out as an email if we don't have the meeting, and it'll go out as a we'll do the meeting if we can. And I prefer to do the meetings. I know that the meetings are a lot more intimidating if you're talking to everybody. You kind of got to be a little more organized, and it's you talking and not some of those other people necessarily. I want you guys to not be shy there, and you'll get bonus brownie points for people who have the guts to step up and do those meetings.
For those meetings, I would like to request if you get some topics like what should we talk about? What are we talking about?
It should be training items that are applicable to the company. If you are not sure, email me some of your ideas. So if you're like, we could do a meeting on time tracker usage or time doctor or something like that, then that's applicable to the company would make sense. If you want to do it on if there's something super narrow and only applies like sourcing ideas for jobs, that might be a very brainstorming idea, which you guys also need to be running beer brainstormings, but it'd be a little bit less applicable for this. In the beer brainstorming next one, we should do, I think it's this Friday, but we should break up into smaller sessions again. Maybe even just teams, or we could do
last time
larger teams. Did we?
We did that last Friday.
Actually, I thought that worked pretty good, right?
No, I'm just saying that because we're going to alternate. So
who ran it last time? Did you run the beer and brainstorming for SCFP last time?
No, I did. Here, yeah.
Well, we could cycle maybe this time. You will run it this time. And
I ran it last time.
We could have like Natasha or Aaron or somebody, Nikki run it, or Backer or Mom. What do you think? We'll kind of cycle it. I think that makes the most sense because it may not be as useful for the entire company. Because some of the stuff that people come up with for the entire company, we want that to be a little bit more of a controlled environment. But if we're doing it with smaller groups on like the group goals, that does make sense. It keeps people excited and it keeps it fresh inside of your areas, you know? Like it's more exciting for Chris to kind of hear about some new ideas on SEO and how copy's involved in that and how we can do an outreach to a client, I think, than it is to like talk about the best finance policies or something. Okay. So if you're brainstorming, I'll do small groups. I'll put that in here. If you guys do want to do a large group one, that's okay, but run the kind of the topics by me, and I'll measure it into those as well. During brainstorming, small groups. Are you guys ready to take this on?
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you guys step up and do this. I think you guys are ready, and it's going to be a lot of growth that will happen, I think, as you guys take on a little more responsibility and get your eyes open in some new areas. So I'm excited about it.
All right. I guess other advice, if somebody else has training topics that maybe they're not comfortable, like if you don't want to do it in front of the entire company, that could be something I can do for you.
Yeah, if you have suggestions for training topics, send it out to the group. Maybe you can't do the training, but maybe somebody else can, you know. So
I've actually done training before, so I'm fairly comfortable.
Cool. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Remote team, Mom, Jordan, Alex, Backer?
Not actually. I have to apologize, guys. I have to really go to bed as I'm really sick and it's too late here. So I'll read the post tomorrow after the meeting. Yeah, still coming. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good day today.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you later. Becker. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, and I'm excited to see how you guys do. All right. Ask me questions. I'll be available every day, all day via email. So, Friday? What? When you going? Well, I leave. I'll be working remotely in Seattle, so I'll be around Chris all the time. But I should be available via my phone, email, text, phone calls, anytime during this whole trip. I'm going to try and get set up so I have access everywhere I'm at. I just won't necessarily be able to handle a client call necessarily remotely. So.
When are you leaving?
Well, I'm leaving on Friday to go to Seattle for 10 minutes, and then I come back for like 2 days, and then I go to Europe at the end of the
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were leaving in July. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
gonna